Hi guys, second week of Effin' Opinions. I have a microphone here. Hopefully it's working. Sorry that it's like on my face, but it's better than my laptop microphone. So I get to look like a announcer or like a. I can be Jerry the King Lawler. Might be Jerry the King Lawler. I don't know. I think he had one. It's been like a long time since I've watched wrestling. Any hoozle. Okay, so I have notes this time that I'm reading from, and also that I'm not reading from. So let's get this party started. The problem with doing Twilight is I have a video, an older video on an older channel about why I hate it. But that's a whole entirely different story with Nutty Madam. And anyway, I didn't know that Shay didn't love the Sparkle Pyres anymore, so that's why I said that. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't know you had better taste suddenly. Messing, I'm sorry. In this video, since it's been so long since I read the book, I kind of looked online for some ideas of what people said. Sorry, oh my god, I just woke up. Literally, just woke up. Anyway, looked online for some reasons to, kind of jog my memory. It's been years since I've read books, so, like, I still know why I hate it. I just can't give, like, particular instances. But I found this list called 92 Reasons to Hate Twilight, and I picked this particular list because it kind of forces me to admit that some things that anti-Twilighters say are kind of ridiculous. So it's kind of forcing me to be slightly less biased, which I like to be biased, but I just figured, why the hell not, you know? I do fall completely on the con side of Twilight, though. I mean, I'm probably the most anti-Twilight person I've ever met. The things I like about Twilight are, Robert Pattinson hates it more than I do. The fourth book, which is actually like the least favorite book of, is it the fourth book? 3? 4? The last book, whatever. The fans hate it, but I thought it was the only one worth any kind of reading. And 50 Shades of Grey, while being still impressingly horrible, was still better than Twilight. I could swallow that pill, so to speak. I mean, it's still like horrific and horribly written, and I that's a whole nother video, but it's still better than Twilight. I'm kind of going to improv on this list. I'm going to read it and give reasons and blah blah blah. I'm not going to get through all 92, obviously, so I'm going to get started now because I'm in 3 minutes in, and I got to stop at 9:30. Bella is a perfect character, Mary Sue, which Myra hides by calling her clumsy. Being clumsy is not a flaw. If Edward always catches her, she can't do anything without Edward, and when he leaves, she attempts to commit suicide. I agree with basically all that. Being clumsy is not a flaw if Edward always catches her is not true, but, I mean, she is a Mary Sue. She's an obvious Mary Sue. Clumsiness doesn't make you not perfect. It's just, it actually kind of does the opposite, because it's like, oh, she's cute and clumsy, and oh, she needs saved. And when he leaves, she attempts to commit suicide. That would go in with my whole abusive relationship, because it's an abusive relationship. It just is. Not knowing if it's on the list, the fact that she can't see shirtless guy. What's his name? Jacob. Yeah, that's, I don't know. Just because he's a werewolf, which you don't decide, but she gets to hang out with. Myra's living out her own fantasies by writing about Bella, who's clearly herself. I agree with that one. The books aren't well written. That's very true. I read a lot. But so does Shannon, and she thought it was well written, but I don't. I guess it's, I don't know. I consider well written Neil Gaiman, and I'm really picky about, actually, I'm pretty picky, and I don't like first person either, but anyways, all the right rules Myra sets for being a vampire broken by the end of the series. I'm not going to say whether I agree with that one or not, because, what rules did she set, actually? I mean, they just sparkled. I don't know. I don't know. Not only that, she breaks rules set by more esteemed authors. I go into that in my other video. Also, the history of vampires. The history of vampires, she completely blows open. Basically, her vampires are superheroes with diamond skin, you know. Yeah. The world population will come to an end because all girls who read this book will think that they are Bella and wait for Edward to come until they're old and he'll never come. No. This is one of the ones I said was pretty ridiculous on this list. Like, I think it is dumbing down our nation because they enjoy books like this, but I don't think that girls are so stupid they're gonna literally wait until they have an Edward to get married. You'll find the right guy and you'll know that that's the one you're gonna marry, and there you go. I mean, nobody's gonna... I don't think anybody'd do that. I mean, maybe somebody, but they'd be pretty cray. Bella almost dies 50,000 times, but Edward always saves her. This is boring. It is boring, except I will say Bella is the main character of the book, so if she died... I mean, this isn't like George R. R. Martin or something, so it ain't Homestuck. I mean, she can't really die and there have a book. I mean, there should be deaths, just probably not the main character. Edward is too perfect and has no flaws either. Even vampires should have flaws besides wanting to suck human blood because it's natural to them. I kind of agree and disagree with that. Vampires do have personality flaws, but I don't believe they have appearance flaws. It's just they're vampires. It's a thing. They don't. Let's see. If Bella's so plain, why do so many guys fall for her within the first 2 chapters? I've said that many times. It teaches women to let the man handle everything. Exactly. Lack of character development. People say that Twilight's better than Harry Potter. Guess what? Wrong. That can't be really on this list because it's not a reason for why you hate... I mean, it could be a reason you hate Twilight. It's not a reason that everybody should hate Twilight. I mean, it is an opinion. It's a correct opinion, but it's still an opinion. Harry Potter's a great book. Edward's extremely possessive, borderline abusive, and boring. Too cliche. Here's one. This book contains no real sex, so it's not really a vampire novel. You don't have to have sex to have a vampire novel. You have to have sex to have a romance novel or an erotica novel, but not a vampire novel. Actually. Reed Anne Rice, those are vampires, not the girly men that Meyer has created. Anne Rice didn't create vampires. I mean, she's good, and her vampires are good, but she didn't, like, create the vampires. So... I mean, that's not... And some of her vampires are girly. Some of them are. I mean, Poppy Z. Bright, Lost Souls, good book, girly vampires. Very girly vampires. I'm okay with it. That's all I have time to get through, really, because I'm at 8:30, and I wanted to really quick say that, as I've said many times before, vampires... There's histories of vampires, and I think you need to certain things to just be vampires. Just like I think you need certain things to be zombies, and I would argue to the death that 28 days later, I will argue that they're not zombies. My friends will argue that they are. That's just the thing. But I think most of the world agrees that vampires don't sparkle, and even if they did sparkle, that's not the reason they're not supposed to go outside. Count Olaf, is that his name? It's been a long time since I've watched, Nosferatu and stuff. But, like, okay, the beginnings of vampires, it's an old count, and they lure the girls in, and that's what makes them vampires. And then, I mean, there's Selene from Underworld, and that's a totally different thing, but she's still considered a vampire. And while people will argue that this is new improved vampires, it's a good idea, it's like, why? That's a stupid reason. It's stupid. And as I just woke up, I'm not very eloquent about all this shit right now. I'm really not. But this is my short version of my opinions on Twilight. I could go for literally 20 minutes, but I want to be able to upload this later. I really would like this to upload in about 2 hours. It would be nice. So, that's my opinions. I really, closing statements, I really like Shannon's video last week. She thinks she's being awkward, but it was just, it was cute. Shut up. I wanted to pinch her cheekies. I was being awkward. I keep saying, do you say, I mean, at least when you think, you don't say, you look off into space, and it's, maybe you're contemplating the meaning of life, or the views of the universe, or, thinking about that call you had with Stephen Hawking. I don't know. I'm saying random things now, 'cause that's what I do. Well, 10:45. Oops. I'm gonna go. We'll discuss next week's subject, whatever. I don't actually have a list. That's a brain list. So if you want to come up with something, come up with something. If not, get at me on Facebook, Shannon Shay. I'm still used to calling you Shannon with my mouth and Shay and typing. But anyway, yeah, get at me on Facebook. Sometimes I'm on Skype. I quit an RP. Anyway. So see you on Thursday, audience. Live long and prosper.